Hey John, how are you today, mate?
Good, thanks, mate. Yourself?
Yeah, not too bad, thank you. How's everything been going since our last talk on the phone?
Yeah, it's been alright.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's been alright.
Yeah, how have you been coping with everything? Just getting along?
Yeah, getting there.
Yeah, that's the way. Yeah. So, what else have you been doing outside of, work? What have you been doing? Keep yourself busy.
Not much. I'm watching football and sometimes I'm going out with work friends, but I've only done it once.
That's the way. What's your favourite footy team?
The Eels.
Oh, yeah, same here. I love Parramatta. Yeah, that's the way to go. I just thought we'd just get into just a bit of confidentiality. I know that we've already covered it through the phone, but I just wanted to make sure and just get you to sign something just in case. So obviously, you have a bit of an understanding of what confidentiality is.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Bit.
So with our company, so with my company, it's Windsor. It's all about creating a safe place for you. No matter what happens, whatever's said, there's no judgment whatsoever. I will ask you if I'm okay to take notes. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what happens is that those notes go straight from this session. I write them up, like I make sure that they're all finalised, and I put them straight into your file that is in Windsor, like it's in your little folder. So what happens with those is the reason that they're saved is so we can track your progression through when you first started with us till wherever we can get that solution from, and the goal that we're trying to reach, which is obviously trying to find the emotions to properly get through all this stuff. So so the only time that I will ever need to give those, like just to have a little view of them, is to, like, if my supervisors, just checking on how well I'm doing with my own job and with you, and if we're going in the right direction, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And but also if we if you were ever to get caught in anything, like if you were ever to get caught in like legal action, that's when I would have to also, give that over to the judge if they were to request it. Only if they were to request it. However, I know that you stay out of trouble, so, but yeah, in that case, that is true, but I would always ask, if we get to a point in our sessions, in our progress, where we think that you might need to go see a psychiatrist or, a certain doctor to try and help you a bit more, I would always ask you first before reaching out to them, and then that way I can get a referral for you. But those are the only times that will ever come out of your folder. Yeah. It will always go straight in there. No family members, no one will know about it. No friends, no matter, whatever. When we both leave this room, that goes straight into the file. Okay?
I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
definitely.
Okay, absolutely. So that's awesome to hear. So if you can just read that and just sign it, please. Awesome. Thank you so much for that. Okay, so I just thought we'd go over, just explore some of your primary and secondary kind of griefs in this, obviously Paul's passed away. So what do you think is the most important part of this grieving? Is it the fact that you've lost, like, your life partner, your love partner? Is it maybe detachment from your family? What do you think it is?
That I lost my partner, I would assume.
Yeah.
Definitely most important. Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you want to extend on that?
Well, we were together for five years practically. It's losing a partner for that long, having a partner for that long, and then losing them.
Yeah.
It hurts.
Yeah,
hurts.
absolutely.
Hurts.
Yeah. So you would say that was primarily your main grief out of all of it?
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's lots of other things going on, family, work. Work doesn't know about me and Paul, so it makes it really hard. I couldn't tell them when I was taking time off work for that. I couldn't explain to them why. So I had to keep them sort of in the dark, and it's definitely got me a little bit in trouble at work.
Yeah.
And as for the family, his family's awesome. They're wonderful. And my sister's great, but my parents don't really understand our relationship, mine and Paul's. And I don't think they really So
Okay.
sort of.
They've distanced.
Yeah.
Okay. So, like, you obviously said that, obviously you're having a bit of trouble with the supporting cast of your own family, your own side of your family. So, what is it like with your sister as the only one on your side of the family that's being
On
supported?
my side,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah?
But it's hard
Yeah?
because she doesn't live anywhere near me.
Oh,
She's
okay.
3 hours out of town out
Oh,
west.
wow,
so,
fair enough. No, that's
yeah.
I guess that's a bit of a downfall on that.
Yeah, I mean, phone calls, that's all we can do, but it's really hard for us to visit each other. I mean, I'm at work, I'm just getting back to work now, and obviously I need to work. I've taken too much time off,
Yep.
and she can't just drop her stuff and come here, so
Yeah,
it makes it hard.
Yeah, okay. So do you have regular phone calls with her, or do you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
every second night.
Yeah, yeah.
Mainly, she's the only person I can really talk to.
Yeah, okay. And so, have you like, obviously in this, time where it's really, really difficult for you as, the primary, probably support cast for him as well. You're his partner for life, he's your partner for life, and it's like a bit of a downfall. What would you say? Have you seen like an understanding from your parents' side, or do you just think that they're just very in touch with their own?
Very old-fashioned.
Very old-fashioned.
They don't understand, and I don't think there's much. I mean, maybe there is a little bit of learning I could have from the situation, but it just seems like they don't really like the fact that we were together, our choices, and it's come back and smited me basically.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So just moving on from that, I really like to hear the way that you're expressing it, and you seem like obviously it's a dark situation, but you're sounding very light about it. Honestly, I would know, I would understand what your kind of what the thought pattern is and how unfortunate that is to experience. But I just thought we'd go through the secondary griefs of the loss of Paul. So what would, through your experience at this current moment, from your standpoint, only of your own thoughts, what's your secondary losses, do you think? Do you need an example?
Relationships
Yeah.
with family and work, definitely. That's probably the big one, the relationships.
Yeah.
I mean, I lost Paul, and then now it just seems like I'm losing relationships with work and family, and not good.
Okay, so would you say that there's been a loss in the, a little bit of, you've lost a little bit of yourself in the losing of Paul?
Definitely.
Yeah. So that could be classed as a secondary. Also, would you think financially, is there any struggle there, or it's just all about personal emotions?
There is a bit of financial, not being at work because I've taken so much time off, and usually it's me and Paul and I together. Off one wage is very hard, but that's I'm trying not to let the financial side of things take over.
Yeah.
But obviously, when it comes to the loss and everything, it's hard to sort of push that away and keep that out of the picture. It stays there.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So just to make sure I've got it right, I'll just write it down. So primary is your personal relationship and missing of you're emotionally missing Paul.
Yeah.
And then secondary is your financial side of things, and what else was there?
My relationships.
Your relationships, right? So trying to build more relationships and build characteristics of your own. I'm guessing is that all right? Is that on the same?
Yeah. It's that, but it's also with the loss of the friendship. So it's both.
Yep.
Both of them work together. But yeah.
Okay. Yep. And so also primary is the lack of support from your own side of the family. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sweet. Okay. Cool. So just going off something else that I feel like is really kind of come into your life. Obviously, there's so many types of different griefs. So have you ever heard of disenfranchised grief? No. So it is a grief feeling that is not supported by society, or looked as legitimate. So some people, if you were to go through if I was to go through like a loss of a pet, a loss of a job, a loss of a house, and in your case maybe a loss of a sexual partner in this society, unfortunately, some would class that as not a huge deal to them because in their personal life they might have everything going well for them, if that makes sense. Does that make sense, kind of? Yeah. So most people in this society don't have a problem with a lot of it. Like, we all see, you know, race is the same thing. We should all be treated the same, whether our gender, whether our sexuality, whether our religious, you know, whether our abilities are physically and mentally. But there are people in this world that unfortunately don't think the same thing. I think a good example is your parents. You know, obviously your sister's very capable with the current society where, you know, it's all good to be whoever you want to be, but as you said in your own words, very old-fashioned people.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. So going off their abilities, like to kind of cut their emotions off, as you know, from parents to a son about a loss like that. What has stopped you from talking to your workplace about like what's going on? Has there been an influence from your parents, the way they've treated you, or?
Maybe it's something underlying, like my parents, you know, how they treated me back then, even now, how they've treated me. Maybe I'm scared to tell work, but work doesn't know of me and Paul.
Yeah.
So it's sort of having to keep everything under closed wraps. They don't know me. They know of me, but they don't know me properly.
Okay. Okay. So and you've hid that away because of the rejection from your parents, like in the sense of that.
Yeah. That's spot on.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. So like obviously, I can see and I can understand and I can, you know, see from your body language that it's a bit of a tough one to, you know, talk about, and there's 100%, there's all the understanding in the world for that. 100% agree. But Norm, I'm just gonna tick off these things and just let me know. They're just normal reactions from loss, and if you think they're a bit more severe than just the wording that I've used, just let me know. Yeah.
Yep.
So would you say depression through this loss?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Would you say anxiety?
Very anxious.
Yeah.
Yep.
Would you say shock and sadness?
Both.
Yep, both of those. Yep.
Both.
Awesome. Would you say anger and denial?
Not so much anger, but definitely denial.
Yep. Okay.
Definitely denial.
Okay. Yep. And would you say that you're fatigued more commonly? Like commonly more fatigued?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I would.
Do you always feel a shortness of breath or an empty feeling in stomach?
Always.
Always, both of those?
Yeah.
Okay, all good. So those are common reactions from loss. I do know that, you know, obviously for just a regular family member, it's like 6 to 2 years that it takes someone to kind of be okay with themselves about the situation. However, you know, I think, you know, you're a very positive human being. You've done the right things for coming to our counselling sessions and jumped on the phone to us at the start. And so I think, you know, your goals are just going to be skyrocketing. I think that, you know, you're a very positive person that's come here and constantly been paying attention and given me all the right things and come in very confident. Yeah. So I think, you know, like no one ever wants to move on from something like this because it is a very hurtful thing, but I think that we can work towards a kind of state of mind which is a bit more positive and a bit more stable in a way. Mm-hmm. So you won't be feeling all these unfortunate feelings. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah. Do you is that what you're kind of looking for in counselling, or are you just looking for someone to?
I am looking for solutions, but also in a way looking for someone I can just express my feelings to.
Absolutely.
I mean, especially with no, you know, family is very distant, and with work and my sister being so far away. I mean, I know, you know, I might be able to squeeze an appointment in every 3 weeks. I know you guys are real busy, but at least, you know, I can talk to you guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's the thing. no judgment, I suppose, is the one thing. Too much judgment from people. But yeah, that's sort of all I'm aiming to get out of counselling is the goals, outcomes, and someone to talk to really.
Okay. Yep. Sweet. That sounds really good. But so obviously, if you need more than once every few weeks, we can definitely like make it more frequent. But are you aware of the kind of like helplines that are available? Like
only blue.
Yeah.
Blue line. That's
1300 blue, and you've got Lifeline, and you've got Lifeline and suicide prevention.
Yep.
So I've just got that one for you. So there it is there. So you just take that home with you and just make sure that these people are obviously they're paid to do this kind of stuff. So they're there for you. Nothing's going to be just like it's going to be disclosed to nobody. Like it's just between you and the phone.
Yep.
But yeah, just make sure that you take care of yourself. I know obviously it sounds like your sister's really there for you and really onto the situation as well. So, I mean, just do as best as you can. Yeah. I know if you were to look for any coping strategies, I've got one for you that may help you to not. You could use it with like your parents. Like it's through psychodynamic therapy, and so what it is it's Gestalt theory, but the technique in Gestalt therapy is called empty chair technique. And what that happens is you just pull up a chair and just act like whoever you need to express your feelings to. Just in your room. It might sound crazy, but I do it all the time and it works. But it's like, so if you wanted to express something to Paul before he left, his soul left this earth, no, his body, sorry. But like, just talk to him about it, just sit right the other side, just talk about it. Or, if you're having a really hard time one night trying to get to sleep and because of, worries about your parents or whatever not accepting that side of you, just pull up a chair and do that. But obviously, you've handled this like a champ and you've like ended up being able to use a coping mechanism to literally get yourself to counselling, to professionals that talk about this kind of stuff. So, is there any questions? Or?
Not really. I'll book another appointment, that's the only thing.
Sounds good. Alright. But yeah, I do thank you so much and we will sort that appointment out right now. Yeah, all good.
Sounds good. Cheers, mate.